Okay, there is the Hobbytown drive with clutch, and my clutch modification was a success. So let's give it a try here, and you can see it run down the track. Okay, using that super strong Mabuchi means it builds up quite a bit of force in the flywheel right off the bat, and it coasts. Okay, so let's try to move it as slow as we can. 1%, 2%, 3%, 4%. And then right there, I just threw it in neutral. Okay, so here it comes. And I'm going to throw it into neutral. It really coasts. Now, what happens? So if the, I'm just guessing on that if it was hooked up to a really heavy train and had to pull it, and couldn't pull it, it would start spinning. And then, so the engine would wind, the motor would wind up a lot, and then the clutch would engage. And I found that out trying to go slowly around the 15-inch radius. And at one point, it just doesn't move, although the motor spins. And then you put it on full power, and it winds up, and then it takes off again. So we did not totally ruin the clutch. But this thing is loud, isn't it? Because it's so, everything is so heavy. So we can get it to go slow at, look at this. Oh. %. We had that thing moving at 2%. So this one really does have a lot of coasting. And that coasting is just, you'll just have to learn to operate that way. But look, we're at 4% and it builds up, and then I throw it in reverse. 4%. Neutral, and she just coasts. Okay, wait, I'm going to do this so that you can see. Okay, so now I'm going to put it in neutral. Remember, this DC controller that I have right here has a 3-position switch. Center off. That's what I call neutral. I'm going to dial up the power on it to 34%. Okay, now it's currently center off. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to hit it forward. Coast. That's where I throw it neutral. Okay, now I'm going to bring it back, and I'm going to throw it into neutral after right here. You see how far that momentum took it? Let's watch that again. Okay, I'm going to throw it into center off at about these ties. I'm only at 34% on the power, so whatever that is, it's like 4 volts, 4.5 volts. Okay, here we go. Coming this way. Neutral. Whoops, I blew it too far. Okay, here we go again. And neutral. That's like 2 locomotive lengths. Turn up to 58. Okay, that's getting pretty fast. Okay, let's bring them on back. Bring them into the curve. That's like 4 locomotive lengths from the time I switched them. You can to center off position. So that clutch is kind of interesting. Okay, so what did I do to modify the clutch? All I did was I put one washer at the bottom of the cylinder, and it does not disable it. If I put two washers, then the clutch never has to engage. The one washer is just thick enough so that as the shaft is spinning, it'll get just enough friction to start turning. Two washers, that rubber stopper in there that expands in the clutch will never engage, because it'll have friction right off the bat. This way, there's just a loose, like a little thrust washer in there, and that's all there is to it. But I am going to get a new rubber stopper for it because I want to find out how it works when it's got a brand new stopper in it. That'd be kind of cool. All right, let's take one more just quick little run here. Cruising at 6%. 6%! 6% power. See, that thing really, like it says, it stores energy. This one takes practice run, but you know what? That's kind of the fun. They shouldn't all run exactly the same. By the way, that's 2% power right there that it was still running at. And that is the lowest I've gotten a locomotive to turn it, is at 2% in these kind. Usually at 1% is, it's not just quite enough milliamps to start these, but 2 and 3 does the trick. So there you have it. That thing is ready. Now we're going to move on to the next mechanism. We're going to do the decaling all at the end of the whole fleet. But hey, this thing is kind of cool. You want to zoom in, take a look at it. There it is, nice and clean. That's what we like to see. Oops, this is some heat shrink tubing that I used to keep the wires just in place. It's just sitting on there. It's not actually shrunk. And that's a real nice clean setup. And everything is working great on this thing.